Welcome to my reality TV show. I'll show you things you never thought you'd want to know.
I'm going to welcome you to Bridging the Gap, Expert's Hot Seat. I'm here with Graham Dunlap.
I'm not an expert on anything.
Oh, come on. I think you're an expert at living.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. You've been around for over 20 years? I think if you've been around for over 20 years, that kind of qualifies you as some kind of expert at living? Okay. All right, cool. He's got an awesome podcast, too, that you guys need to check out.
It's called The Grimerica Show. That's GRIMERICA.ca. That's out of Canada.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
And you were here. I asked Graham to come and join us for a moment to just give us one tip on how to create a life you love. So, what's your tip?
Well, one tip, I think it has to come down to mindfulness, as in meditation. Because to me, that's been one of the most powerful tools is learning how to watch your thoughts and increase the gap between your thoughts, and then be aware of when your mind's going to places you don't want it to be. Because how can you start following a life you love if you're distracted by all these things going on in your head? Because we all have the monkey mind, right? And it's pretty easy if you try to just quiet the mind. And it's not like people say, oh, you can't meditate, I can't quiet my mind. It doesn't have to happen all at once or whatever. We're just starting to recognize where your thoughts are taking you, and then when you are in the day-to-day living and all that, if you can recognize when your thoughts are going somewhere where you don't want to be and come back to the present moment. And I mean, it sounds cliche, but really the moment is where you're going to recognize the things you love and the signs to follow, like your story about your synchronicities and all that, right?
Yeah.
If you weren't in the moment and listening to yourself and letting your mind go over the place, then it's hard to follow the life you love and follow your passions. That would be my tip.
No, I love that, because I think so many of us have such a tendency to be, thinking about everything else besides what we're physically doing, right now. And I think that's why we have the Jungle Book back here. Because I think some of us adults, sometimes we need the time to play, and sometimes we just need to kind of be in that present moment. And wine. I think wine and inebriants have also been a factor in creating that right there. But I think that there is a certain amount of mindfulness that everyone really does need to have in order to, allow themselves to be happy. Because if you're not mindful, how do you even know when you're feeling happy?
Yeah, and that enables you to become happy or change your state of being, right? A little bit, or at least have the power to do that. You might not choose to do that, but at least you can choose to.
Or it might give you awareness that you need to change something in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
And if that's the case, and I always tell people, like, sometimes people they come to me for readings and in courses and stuff, and they're like, WildFlower, how do I stop the bad feelings in my life? And I say, well, you don't stop the bad feelings. What you do is you learn how to recognize what it is that they're trying to tell you. Because sometimes those bad feelings exist to tell you to stop doing something, to tell you to stop being around somebody, to tell you not to go down that dark alleyway at 3 a.m. in the gutter. Right? So those bad feelings, it's really about learning how to work with them and learning how they work for you. And I really think that your mindfulness concept can really work well with that, because it really helps to get you in touch with where you're at right now.
Yeah. Well said.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you'd like to see more episodes of Bridging the Gap, simply go to wildflowerinstitute.com. As always, wishing you love, health, wealth, and the time to enjoy it. Aloha.
Aloha.